Welcome back. I'm joined by Championship correspondent Pascal Lemaire to review Saturday's clash between Watford and Ipswich. Pascal, start with the home side, sitting top of the table, approaching vital stage of the season.
They are. It's been fantastic of late. 10 wins in 13 games for Jukanovic's side, and they do look really good at the moment. 2-0 win at Wigan. Not that surprising. Wigan haven't won at home since August. That was Watford's last game. Not too surprising, obviously, that there was a late penalty in Deeney's header. He got both goals in that game, so it was a fairly comfortable win for them. Obviously, not conceding is always good, and Deeney's come to the fore. About a month ago, he was struggling to start every game. There was the Igalo. He was on the sensational scoring run, and now Igalo amazingly can't get in the team. It's now Deeney and Vidra, the partnership that was so good 2 years ago when Watford got to the playoff final. So he's now got 19 goals. Deeney's obviously one goal away from his third straight 20-goal season. So he is probably the best. You probably say he probably is the best striker in this league in terms of how well he's proved. He's not the top scorer. Obviously, that's Ipswich's Murphy, who he faces here. So it's Watford, like I said, they are top of the table, and it's them and Borough joint at the moment. Bournemouth 2 points behind. They're still, they haven't pulled clear by any stretch of the imagination. But I recently said I think Watford might win the league. They just look like the strongest of all the sort of sides up there at the moment. I think the attacking quality they've got is just incredible. They've got this three-man defensive formation, and they're doing better, keeping a few more clean sheets recently. And for me, just the quality they have going forward is going to set them apart. I just think they're going to outscore almost everyone they play. So at the moment, it's looking really good, and their stretch of games coming up now is so important. They play Ipswich here, then it's the international break, and then it's Derby and Middlesbrough in the next two after that. So if they can take maybe 6 or 7 points from those 3 games, it'll be a huge boost for them going into the final 5 games.
You mentioned the race at the top of the table. Obviously, Ipswich picked up a much needed win over Bolton midweek. Yeah,
that was absolutely huge for them. They fall without a win going into that game, and I think McCarthy said, he said call the cops at the end of the game. There's been a robbery here. So for him to say that just shows that they didn't play at their best. They've actually played quite well against Middlesbrough at the weekend and in Brentford the week before, but they didn't get a win in either of those games. Only 1 point from those 2 games, but they came through against Bolton. Bolton missed a lot of chances in that game. McCarthy said, on another day they could have easily won it, and he said, I think we didn't deserve to win it, but they came through in the end. J-Tab with the late goal, a scruffy goal from them. Ipswich, they've been off form at the moment, but a win, it could boost confidence. They've got a pretty difficult run in, but they're only 1 point outside the playoffs, and at one stage it looked like they'd be going back into the playoffs because Brentford were losing at Blackburn, but Brentford came back, and won that game at Ewood Park. So there's still a point behind them. They're 2 points clear of Wolves. Wolves are looking quite good behind them. They ended their winless streak themselves last time out, so they're looking good. And I think the thing for Ipswich is David McGoldrick. He's been out for a long time now. The injury has been sort of it's sort of been played down for so long now, but he hasn't played in about 2 months now, and it's been a real struggle for them without him because he's just a creative player that they don't really have apart from, you look at maybe Freddie Sears who's come in. He's been quite bright with his pace, but he hasn't quite got the vision or the creativity of McGoldrick. So if they can get him back maybe for this one, or if not this one, definitely after the international break, because Ipswich have got some tough games coming up, and they are now outside the playoffs, and considering where they were, say on Boxing Day when they beat Brentford, they were top of the table briefly for a couple of hours, and since then it's been a real dip in form. 2015 has not been kind to them at all, so this is a very difficult game going to Vicarage Road against the league leaders. So a point, I think McCarthy would definitely take a point in this game.
So McCarthy would take a point. Do you think he'll get one? Just score prediction?
I don't think he'll get one. Watford, they just look too strong for me at the moment. Like I said, I think they'll be able to outscore any opponent. Their forward options are brilliant, and Ipswich have been conceding some poor goals recently, so I think I'm going to have to back the Hornets here 3-1.
So also going for a 3-1 Watford win.